Oh, hello, folks. This is Steve A. For you. Nothing in this episode is a promotion nor is it a recommendation. This is my ironic chuckle of the day. So I'm looking at slashdot.org, supposedly news for nerds. I'm a nerd. Europe's cookie law messed up the internet. Never mind that nonsense. Europe's cookie law messed up the internet. Brussels, which is where the headquarters of the EU are, wants to fix it. In a bid to slash red tape, the European Commission wants to eliminate one of its peskiest laws, the 2009 tech rule that plastered the online world with pop-ups requesting consent to cookies. It's the kind of simplification ordinary Europeans can get behind. European rule makers in 2009 e-privacy directive to require websites to get consent from users before loading cookies onto their devices. I connect to a website, they want to spy on me, they drop a cookie on me, I go somewhere else and somebody can see the cookies because everything gets sent, and they say, oh, we're tracking you. We want to know people that went to such and such a place, we're getting paid by them to see where else you go. So now they realize, 2009 to 15 years later, too much consent basically kills consent. People are used to giving consent for everything. So they just click, yeah, let me see the website. Now, I want to see the whole article. So let's click on the link where it is. It's at Politico. We value your privacy. Look at how much verbiage there is. They're meeting the EU law. We value your privacy. We use cookies and other technology to store and access personal data on your device, such as IP addresses and unique identifiers, to keep the site reliable and secure. Tailor your experience, because we follow you around, measure site performance, and present relevant offers and advertisements as described in our privacy policy and cookie policy. Now, when I clicked on that one, it just showed me the same thing again. Now, they can allow me to customize, or I can just agree. I think my head's okay. Specifically, what are they after? Store and or access information on a device. That means spy on my computer. No, they want to be able to put the cookie on my computer. I have to give them storage space. I can't charge them for it. Personalized advertising and content. Use precise geolocation data. Actively search, scan device characteristics for identification. Profile me. Now they allow me to customize. Store and access information on device. See, they break it down. Develop and improve services. So these look like they're off. Yeah, that green I think means on. So if I customize, I say you can't do it. I think that's correct. Now, why did this come up? Because if I do this, just go Google search, and it says media company, Politico, politics, policy, political news, Politico. Click. Where's the cookie thing? Where's the cookie thing? Let me show you, in case you don't know. Here's the address. Politico.com. What about that other one I was playing with? Politico.eu. So Politico is in at least the EU and the United States. When I do the Google search, the cookies and my address tell the search engine that I'm in the United States, so they assume I want the one from the United States, .com. But this person was quoting something from the EU on the EU version of Politico, which may have articles that are of direct interest to European Union member people, and they don't give a shit about the United States. So they're obligated by EU law to do that. You got to give me consent about cookies. But that doesn't exist for Politico.com in the United States. So I can just look at their articles. And they dump the cookies on me and do whatever they want. So I customized it. And I'm looking. And everything's turned off. And I say save and exit. But I don't have a way of rechecking. Now watch. Well, they even tell where I can complain. In Belgium. It says EU. Wait a minute. UK, France, Germany, US. You see what I got? I got the US page. Wait a minute. Let's try Deutschland. It's in German. They changed it to German. France. Now there's the article about him in the United Nations yesterday. Les Européens à la fois contents et méfiants du revirement de Trump sur l'Ukraine. So they think those are their major audiences. And they customize the language. Let's see what the Brits look like. Let's see if I can read it. It's in English. I think I can read it. but the city faces a 120 million pound bill as Britain pushes savers into stocks. So this is customized to the UK because it talks about pound sterling. And in case you think you haven't seen this before, Amazon Amazon.com let's see if I can do it. Amazon.fr click the button if you decide to continue in French. See this up here, it's got English and French. And I'm going to say continue. And now I'm on the French site. And what do we see? France is in the EU. Cookies and advertising choices. Accept, decline, customize. It's in English, but I'm going to the French site. But up here it says English or French, and I'll do that, and now everything's in French. You see, they looked at my cookies, and they knew that I was from the United States, trying to fool them by looking at the French site. And even though I chose French, they still put it to me in English. Because they've got to obey the law. Si vous y consentez, nous pourrons utiliser vos informations personnelles prouvant de ces services Amazon pour personnaliser what it says is that we use these things in order to personalize your experience here on this website. And we think of other web services that we could offer to you besides what you're looking for. For example, we're able to use your history of videos. You mean they're looking at the cookies that I got from video sites like YouTube and TikTok? It says it right here. We will be able to use your history of videos regarding Prime Video for personalizing the offerings that we have to sell in our boutiques on Fire TV. I'm reading the French. I took 3 years of French in high school, 4 years of Latin, 3 years of French. Okay? Because this website is Amazon.fr. Now I'm going to change it one more time. We're going to find out if India is in the EU or has a similar law. IN. See the button? So they want to know if I really want to continue. And I'm now at Amazon India. And it allows me to have, now pay attention. Remember, I know a little bit about India. The default is in English. When India was declared an independent country after partition of the Raj into Pakistan's, 2 of them, and India, the only official language that the Indians could all agree on was English. Because there are a number of major languages, and it's taken them many years to come friendly with each other about which languages would be touted as the main official languages of the Indian government. So I can choose to go in Hindi. TE would be Telugu. I'm going to guess that this one here is Tamil Nadu. This is Bengali. It look Arabic. No. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I guessed that that one was Bengali. Something just hit me in the neck. Don't get old. All right, I want you to see what I'm looking at. The IN says this is an Indian thing, and the BN would be Bengali. So if I do this, and I ask Google what it's about, the search result refers to close your JavaScript engine, blah, blah, blah. If you're interested in languages spoken in India, you can search on languages of India. It's not answering it directly. Oh, that's really interesting. It talks in a very general manner rather than telling me directly what it is. Name of language. The Google AI has some reason for not saying it directly. Look at the way it's evading it. It's acting stupid. This is highly specific. Let me take the equal sign out. The name of a language is called a lingua name, but it doesn't tell me which one it is. So I have to go to some place called Omniglot. But it doesn't show me the symbols. It doesn't show me the symbols either. This is, excuse me for this detour. This really surprises me. So how could I figure it out if the AI, for some political reason, it's the only reason it could be, it can't be that stupid. For a political, cultural reason, they may have been warned by India or something. Be real careful. Don't start a fight. Things are sensitive enough as it is. So what I'll do is this. Let's see if I can highlight. No, I can't highlight that. Hang on. So I'm on this site, and I highlight this, and I copy it, and I go here, and I go to Google Translate, and I say detect language, and I paste it in, and it says Bengali, which is what I guessed. And the Google AI machine can't tell me that that's Bengali. I'm wondering why. It's political. It's something like that. They've been in trouble in India before, something like that. Either that or AI is really stupid. Now, you wonder, you think I'm kidding. let me show you something. And this will be the last thing, where I went off on that tangent. Which countries have the most H-1B visas? There's two countries that they have to be careful about stepping on. India and China received the vast majority of H-1B visas, with India consistently accounting for over 70% of approvals in the recent years, followed by China at 11 to 12%. It's like saying Amazon couldn't exist without India. IT people. I want to see if I can do it. Does Amazon use Indian H-1B visa holders to work in USA? Amazon was the largest, I'm guessing, Amazon was the largest sponsor of H-1B workers for fiscal year 2025, employing over 10,000 people with the visa, followed by other household names like Microsoft, Meta, Apple, Google, Cognizant Technology Solutions, JP Morgan, and Walmart. And this is an article by the American Immigration Council titled Trump's $100,000 fee for H-1B visas, What You Need to Know. So some people are treading very carefully. And one of them is Google. They don't want to be on the wrong side of things when it all gets melted down to the final thing. So, we started off with this thing about the cookie stuff, that anytime you go to the EU, the website just keeps immediately blocks you. If you can't give consent about the cookie thing, they can't let you see nothing. Americans, they don't bother, some bother. You know why? Some sites do have it. Sometimes they're unsure where you're coming from. And in order not to stub their toes on European laws because they may have big operations in the EU, they don't take a chance and they flip the coin and say, let's tease them with having to answer the question anyway, even though if they're actually American, because remember, they're spying on you. Yeah, I can be sitting here in North Carolina and I can be from Ireland. I can be from Estonia. I could be from France. And they've been dumping cookies on me, and they noticed that half of the websites that I've been reading are in Lithuanian, which is in the EU. So when I go to a website that's a kind of, do you want the European version of our stuff? What do I mean by that? Or they'll hit you with that. Now, what do I mean by European? This is the last thing. I said that 3 times already. Let's go to the BBC. This BBC site knows that I'm in the United States, and all of the news is tailored just as though I went to the Wall Street Journal, I went to the New York Times. BBC UK. BBC UK News. BBC News UK. It even says it right there, News UK. I have to do that. Now, why aren't they asking me for cookies? Come on, quick! Why aren't they asking me? Aren't they in Europe? Hell no, they're not in Europe. They used to be in the EU. They did this, you know. Does the EU really think that their cookie thing is going to put an end to all this complicated shit that's going on under the covers? It's just going to make it easier and smoother. Because they already know that people are so tired of it, and they're so, I won't say it, they don't really know what's going on anyway. It doesn't make any difference. Did you notice that when I did it, all of the stuff was turned off and I said accept it with it all turned off and they didn't object? Do you know why they allowed me to do that? I can't simulate this. The reason why they allowed me to do that is they knew I was in the United States. And it's no big deal if I say no to everything on the cookies. But if I were in France, they would argue with me as to whether they'd let me turn that stuff off. Trust me on that. Because that would be their home advertising turf. It's all money. It's all money. See where you can go. You just see this top story on News for Nerds and you see where it can go. I think it's fun. Steve A. for you. Oh. Do you think I'm interested in meeting some nice, pretty, young Ukrainian gal? Discover meaningful relationships with Slavic women seeking affection. You see what she looks, now see I'm straying again. You see what she looks like? Ukrainian woman murdered. See what she looks like? Whoop. Where's that ad? Where's that ad? There she is. There's the Ukrainian woman who was murdered on the train in Charlotte, an hour away from me. And here's what they're offering. Do they look fairly similar? Put aluminum foil in your toilet. How come I never knew this? Life hack guru. Date Ukraine. Have I ever known a Ukrainian woman? When I used to live in Raleigh, I would go to the NCSU Hill Library, and for a period of time there was a gal working behind the checkout counter who was from the Ukraine and was more beautiful than this woman and this woman combined, but looked an awful lot like either of them. Am I stereotyping? Actually, I was just remembering of her. And she was. I like to talk to him. She may have been really pretty, but she had this. Because I let her know I had traveled and I started talking about Europe and stuff like that. Kind of like an interrogation. She had this, let me tell you. Oh, that's right. Oh, see, I'm off the topic. Who's the other Ukrainian woman that I knew that I would rate as like not quite an IQ of 150, but somewhere close to it? Yeah, one the certain gal that I knew in Israel in the Ulpan. Yes, indeed. I loved talking with her. But she was already engaged to an American guy. They got married, and she's here in the States somewhere. Israel lost her. Talk about extremely, wow. Oh, I'm off the topic. Steve A. before you. Just letting his mind wander, having fun, saying see you in 73.